Hi ma'am, good day. I am Jamer L. Sigla, your student from BSIT 1B, and now I'm going to explain about the evolution of computer. From the 1930s to today, the computer has changed dramatically. The first modern computer was created in the 1930s and was called the Z1, which was followed by large machinery that took up entire rooms. In the 60s, computers evolved from professional use to personal use as the first personal computer was introduced to the public. In the 1980s, Apple introduced its first computer, the Macintosh, and has dominated the computer industry ever since with laptops and tablets. Although computer seems like a relatively modern invention, computer dates back to the 1800s. Throughout computing history, there has not been a long inventor or a single first computer. The invention of computer was incremental, with dozens of scientists and mathematicians building on their predecessors. The modern computer, however, can be tracked back to the 1930s. The 1930s marked the beginning of calculating machines, which were considered the first programmable computers. Konrad Zuse created what became known as the first programmable computer, the Z1. In 1936, in his parents' living room in Berlin, he assembled metal plates, pins, and old film, creating a machine that could easily add and subtract. Although his early models were destroyed in World War II, Zuse is credited with creating the first digital computer. In the 1940s, computers took up entire room like the ENIAC, which was once called a mathematical robot. John Mauchly created the ENIAC during World War II to help the army with ballistics analytics. The machine could calculate thousands of problems each second. The large-scale ENIAC weighed 30 tons and needed a 1,500 square foot room to house the 40 cabinets, 6,000 switches, and 18,000 vacuum tubes that comprised the machine. In the 1950s, computers were strictly used for scientific and engineering research, like the ENIAC, which was once described as a helpful assistant for mathematicians. The ENIAC was complete in 1954 and was used by RAND researchers. The massive machine weighed just over 2 tons with over 5,000 vacuums. Shows this early computer operated for 13 years, or 51,349 hours before being dismantled. In the 1960s, everything changed when the Programma 101 became the first desktop computer sold to the average consumer. Up until 1965, consumers were reserved for mathematicians and engineers in a lab setting. The Programma 101 changed everything by offering the general public a desktop computer that anyone could use. The 65-pound machine was the size of a typewriter and had 37 keys and a printer built in. The Italian invention ushered in the idea of the personal computer that would last to this day. As personal computers became popular in the 1970s, the Xerox Alto helped pave the way for Steve Jobs' Apple. The Xerox Alto was created in the 70s as a personal computer that could print documents and send emails. What was most notable about the computer was its design, which included a mouse, keyboard, and screen. The state-of-the-art design would later influence Apple designs in the following decade. The Alto computers were also designed to be kid-friendly so that everyone could operate a personal computer. In the 80s, Apple Macintosh was described as a game-changer for the computer industry. When Steve Jobs introduced the first Macintosh computer in 1984, Consumer Reports called it a dazzling display of a technical wizardry, like the Xerox Alto. The Macintosh had a keyboard, a mouse, and a small 9-inch screen. The computer, which weighed in at 22 pounds and cost $2,495, was uploaded for its interface of Windows and icons. As the 90s marked a period of self-expression, Apple released the famous iMac G3, which was customizable. The iMac G3 was launched in 1998 after Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1997. The computer quickly became known for its Bondi Blue, clear casing. The 38-pound iMac included USB, a keyboard, and a mouse. It was meant to be portable and customizable. The company sold 800,000 computers in the first 5 months, saving Apple from extinction. The iMac is also notable because it was the first time Apple used the I to name its product, explaining it stood for Internet, Innovation, and Individuality. In the early 2000s, laptops became increasingly popular, especially after Apple launched its MacBook Air. In 2008, Steve Jobs leaked the first MacBook Air from a manila envelope and shocked the audience at Apple Macworld with how thin the laptop was, measuring only 0.26 thick. The expertly designed laptop changed the industry forever. Apple got rid of the CD drive and only included a USB port and a headphone jack. At that time, the minimalistic device cost $1,799. Today, computers come in all shapes and sizes, including tablets. Today's most innovative computers are tablets, which are simple touchscreen without a keyboard or a mouse. Although tablet sales are on the decline, 33 million tablets were sold in 2018. The market is also filled with other computer models, including the MacBook Pro, iMac, Dell XPS, and iPhones. Again, I am Jmar L. Sigla, a student from BSIT 1B, and thank you for listening.